The tale opens in Denmark, in the age of Vikings. High atop a mountain, a massive giant happily plays with his small child, a young troll. Suddenly, the chief of a Danish Viking tribe arrives with his warriors on horseback, determined to slay the giant. Before they can reach him, the giant spots them from afar. To protect his son, he quickly scoops him up and runs toward the far side of the mountain. However, the chief and his men surround him. The giant hides his child on the mountain's slope, then tries to scare the warriors away instead of fighting, hoping they will retreat. But they refuse to leave. They launch a vicious attack with arrows, spears, and flaming torches. The giant loses his footing, plummets from the mountain, and dies instantly. From his hiding place, the young troll silently witnesses everything. The chief walks to the cliff's edge and removes his mask. Looking down, he spots the little troll. For a brief moment, he considers killing the child as well. But because it's just a baby, he decides to spare it. Without saying anything to his men, he turns around and rides away. The little troll climbs down the mountain. Near the shore, he finds his father's lifeless body. He tries to drag the corpse away from the crows and vultures, but it is far too heavy. In desperation, he uses a sword to cut the body into pieces and carries the parts into a cave. There, he hides his father's remains and begins living alone inside that cave. Years pass, and the troll grows into an adult. Every day, when he looks at his father's severed head, he weeps in grief and remembers him. Meanwhile, back in the Danish Viking tribe, a priest is performing a ritual to bless the opening of a new tavern. He announces to the chief that the tavern is now prepared and ready. Elsewhere, the troll, who has been waiting all these years to avenge his father, finally steps out of his cave. That night, while some Viking warriors are drinking and celebrating in the tavern, the troll arrives. He attacks the guard outside, smashing his skull, then walks into the tavern. Inside, he mercilessly slaughters all the Vikings. The next morning, the chief and his men come to the tavern. The sight horrifies him. The bodies of the Viking warriors who spent the night there are scattered everywhere, butchered in a brutal way. The chief asks his commander, "Where were you when this happened?" The commander answers, "I was in the village. Some young men stayed here after drinking, but I don't know who killed them so savagely. Strangely, no women or elders have been touched." Hearing this detail, the chief becomes uneasy. Then the story shifts to the Vikings of Gatland, led by Leo, a renowned Viking warrior. As usual, they sail on their longships for raiding and plunder. But during their voyage, the harsh cold forces them to stop near Denmark. That same night, the Danish chief goes near the mountain with a guard and shouts out to challenge the troll. As he steps forward, the troll suddenly appears from behind and smashes the guard's head, killing him instantly. From a distance, the chief sees this and charges with his sword, but before he can reach him, the troll flees into the darkness. The chief cannot understand why the troll never confronts him directly, and instead only slaughters his men before running away each time. The next morning, the entire tribe gathers at the scene of the killings. The chief's wife says, "Many of our Viking men have died. What will become of their widows now? If this continues, soon only widows will be left in the village." The chief has no answer and no solution, and out of shame, he remains silent. Later, his wife goes to see Lena, a woman who lives alone on the mountain outside the village. She tells her, "You can see death before it arrives. Tell me, will my husband die like this as well?" Lena replies, "You all cast me out of your community and called me corrupt. Now you come begging for my help." The chief's wife says, "What happened to you was not my doing." Lena responds, "It doesn't matter now. As for your husband, He will not die by the troll's hand. Hearing this, the chief's wife quietly returns home. Meanwhile, Leo and the Vikings of Gateland sail their ship closer and land near the Danish settlement. A Danish horseman spots them and warns, "This land belongs to Vikings as well. If you've come to raid, leave immediately." Leo answers, "I am Leo, the famed Viking warrior. We only wish to rest here a few days on our journey. We have no intention of raiding." The soldier replies, "We've heard many tales about you. Come, I'll take you to our chief." Leo and his men are brought before the chief, who smiles and says, "The last time I saw your father, you were still a boy. Now you've grown into a mighty warrior." Leo nods. That night, the chief hosts a feast in the tavern for Leo and his men. The chief's wife personally serves the drinks. During the feast, Leo asks, "Why are there so many widows here, and so few men?" The chief explains the troll's nightly attacks. Hearing this, Leo says, "If the troll comes each night to kill Viking men, then from now on my men and I will be waiting for him." After the celebration, the chief, his wife, and the others go home. Leo and his warriors, along with a few tribe members, stay in the tavern. At midnight, the troll comes to the tavern. He first sniffs around the priest, then goes to the door, smelling to tell whether the Vikings inside are locals or outsiders. Inside, Leo and his men realize the troll has arrived and prepare for battle. But the troll senses the warriors inside are not the local Vikings he hates. Instead of entering, he urinates on the closed door. When the Vikings rush outside to engage him, the troll has already disappeared into the night. The next morning, the chief says, "It's strange that no man died last night." Leo replies, "Yes, the troll came to the door, but instead of fighting, he urinated and left." After this, Leo takes some of his own men and a few from the tribe to search for the troll in the hills, hoping to kill him. But after searching many areas, they fail to find him and return to the village. Shortly after, Leo goes alone to visit Lena, who lives near the mountain outside the village. He says, "I've heard you can see death before it comes." Lena answers, "Yes, and I've also heard you are Leo, the famous Viking warrior. Why have you come to me?" Leo replies, "I want to know how many people will die in this struggle between the troll and the Vikings, and whether the troll will be slain. I need to know this if I'm to protect your people." Lena says, "I am not one of them. When I was still a girl, the chief's nephew brought me here and forced me into a life of disgrace. As for your question, yes, I've seen what's coming. The troll will be killed, but many Vikings will die as well, and the land will be soaked in blood. Honestly, the people here deserve nothing better." Leo asks, "Why do you say that?" Lena replies, "Because of what they did to the troll. This is their punishment. You should stay out of it." Before Leo can ask more, his men show up looking for him. "Evening is near. We must prepare," they say. Leo returns to the tribe with them. Later he privately asks the chief, "Has the troll ever killed a woman, a child, or an old person?" The chief says, "No, he only kills our Viking men." Leo responds, "Then he's clever and, in a way, disciplined." The chief looks offended and says, "He is killing our people, and you speak of him with respect." Leo answers, "I'm not praising him. I just believe there's a reason he only kills men. So far, he has not attacked you or your villagers directly." The chief replies, 20 years ago, a troll was killed. Since then, none appeared. I don't know where this one came from. If you're afraid of him, don't fight." That evening, Leo and his men again wait inside the tavern for the troll. When they hear signs of his presence, they rush outside with swords ready, but once more, The troll is nowhere to be seen. Disappointed, they start back toward the tavern. In that moment, the troll quietly slips from behind the rocks and returns to his hiding place. The following day, Leo visits Lena again and asks, "Tell me how the troll can be killed." Lena replies, "Why don't you just return home with your men?" Leo says, "Before I leave, I must know how the people can be freed from him." She takes him into her hut and casts her fortune-telling bones to seek an answer. At that moment, Leo hears the troll's voice outside. He rushes out, but when the troll sees him, he runs. Leo jumps onto his horse and gives chase. Before Leo can catch him, the troll climbs up the mountain. Lena also follows and arrives there. Leo shouts to the troll, "If you're brave, face me. Why do you keep running?" The troll answers in his own language. Lena understands and translates. He says his fight is not with you. You and your men have not harmed him. That's why he never attacks you. Leo is surprised and goes back with Lena to her hut. There he asks, "Then why does he keep roaming near this village?" Lena explains, "The chief's nephew once forced me into a sinful life, but he died in my bed. The people blamed me for his death and cast me out. Since then I've lived here alone. Many Viking men used to come at night to dishonor me, but after the troll began appearing, none dared. That's why I won't help you kill him. That poor troll has already suffered enough." After hearing this, Leo returns to the chief and says, "Through Lena, I spoke with the troll. He told her that the Vikings treated him horribly. That's why he's taking revenge." The chief grows uneasy and replies, "I'll speak with you about this later." As Leo heads back to his men, he sees a disabled man being cruelly beaten by some boys. Leo drives the children away. The man tells him, "My father fought against the troll's father. That's why the troll killed all the men in my family. I know where he lives. You and your warriors can go there and kill him." Leo and his warriors take a boat toward the mountain where the troll's cave is hidden, guided by the disabled man. They land at the shore and climb up until they find the cave's single entrance. One Viking tries to climb down, but slips, and the others pull him back. After that, none of them have the courage to enter. Instead, they urinate near the entrance and start heading back to their boat. Suddenly, the troll bursts from beneath the water and attacks the Viking who urinated near the cave, trying to kill him. His companions react quickly and strike at the troll, forcing him to retreat below the water. The Viking's life is saved. After this, the group returns to the tavern and keeps watch all night for the troll, but this time, he doesn't dare go in. The next morning, Leo steps outside and finds that the troll has killed the crippled soldier who led them to the cave. Shocked, Leo and the Vikings decide to return to the troll's lair, but this time they use a rope to reach the entrance. Inside the cave, they find strange items scattered everywhere. One Viking smashes the skull of the troll's father and urinates on it. The troll is not home, but when he comes back and sees the shattered skull, he instantly knows who invaded his cave. Enraged at the insult to his father, he loses control. That night, as the Vikings sleep inside the tavern, the troll launches a vicious attack. He kills the Viking who desecrated his father's skull. Leo jumps in and starts fighting him, but compared to the troll, he is far too weak. The troll tries to escape through the roof, but Leo grabs his leg and yanks him down, wrapping a heavy iron chain around his arm. Furious, the troll punches Leo and struggles to break free, but his arm is trapped in the chain. A Viking fires an arrow at him, but the troll knocks the man aside. Before the others can overwhelm him, the troll hacks off his own hand to escape. He runs toward the sea but doesn't get far. He collapses and dies on the shoreline. Suddenly, an unseen force drags his body into the sea. The next day, the Vikings mourn their dead comrades and burn their bodies. Leo looks at the chief and says, "You only told me part of the story. Now that the troll is dead, tell me everything." The chief confesses that they once killed the troll's father without any reason, and now they're suffering the consequences. Leo answers, "Because of your thinking, an innocent was killed. This troll wasn't like you. He never harmed anyone innocent." The chief is filled with shame. That night, the Vikings hang the troll's severed hand inside the tavern and celebrate, convinced the nightmare is finally over. Most of them later return home. Leo goes to visit Lena. She tells him, "I told you the troll would be gone, but you still have more pain ahead." She then reveals more of her past. Years ago, the troll came to her. He was with her once, but afterward, he never touched her again. Oddly, the Vikings stopped harassing her. She says, "Leo, he wasn't evil. He just carried the wounds of his childhood." As they talk, Lena and Leo grow closer and end up in each other's arms. At midnight, the troll's mother storms into the village. On her way, she kills a priest. She then enters the tavern and massacres all the Vikings inside. She takes her son's severed hand and leaves. The next morning, a small boy quietly approaches Lena. She tells him to stay silent and slips away with him. Meanwhile, the Vikings assume the troll is still alive and responsible for the new deaths. They go hunting again. At the seashore, they find another comrade's severed head. Leo's suspicion grows that the troll might still live. He dives into the water and swims into the cave alone. Inside, he finds the troll's corpse lying on a rock, but as he steps closer, the troll's mother suddenly attacks from behind. She strangles him, but Leo grabs a stone and smashes it against her skull. Then he seizes a sword and kills her. At that moment, the young boy appears holding a sword. Seeing him, Leo realizes the truth. This boy is the child of Lena and the troll. Leo lowers his blade and spares him. Later, Leo returns to the tribe and tells the chief, "I'm leaving. The troll and his mother are truly dead now." Before departing, he visits Lena one last time and warns her, "If the people learn the troll has a son, they will kill you both." Lena calmly replies, "This will remain our secret." Then she walks away. In the end, Leo builds graves for the troll and his mother near Lena's hut. From a distance, the troll's son watches with tears in his eyes. Then Leo leaves with his men, sailing back to Gateland, and that is where the movie ends. So, friends, if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notifications. And don't forget to like and share this video. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.